Like, that's crazy. I can't believe that. Who is that guy?
We've all probably asked the same question as D-Wade. Who is that guy indeed? Everyone's used to statues not looking exactly like the people they're supposed to represent, but this one is on another level. The fact D-Wade defended the sculptor should tell you all you need to know about this man's character. However, the internet did not forgive him. The inspiration for memes was in abundance, and these are just some of the biggest hits. There's zero doubt D-Wade deserves a statue in Miami after everything he's done for the franchise. But did he deserve that kind of a statue? That's a completely different story. Hello basketball fans, and welcome to Hoop Vision. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It takes only a second, costs nothing, and will give you access to more basketball stories. When comparing the all-time great NBA guards, some fans are quick to underestimate Wade and what he's done for the game. It's easy to forget how much of a beast he was back in the day. In college, D-Wade was one of the best players in his generation, which is impressive when you think about who was also in that conversation. LeBron and Melo were the biggest college stars back then, and it's really mind-boggling to this day how Melo went number 3 behind Darko Milicic. Anyways, the only reason why Marquette was relevant during that era was Wade himself. Unfortunately, his freshman year went differently than expected, since he was made ineligible to play due to NCAA Proposition 48, which set academic requirements for participation in Division I sports. In practice, it meant either improve your grades or you get no playing time. Wade took it seriously and earned his right to be on the floor, averaging amazing numbers with almost 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game, leading his college to a 26-7 record, the best since the 93-94 season. Next year, he upped those stats to 21.5 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 4.4 assists per game, which was enough to earn Marquette their first Final Four appearance since 1977 and their first Conference USA championship. Once you achieve something like that in college, the phone starts ringing and you know what's coming next.
With the 5th pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Miami Heat select Dwyane Wade from Marquette University.
In the summer of 03, 99% of the media coverage was this basketball prodigy from Akron, Ohio, who was supposed to be the best player everyone's seen since Michael Jordan. Sure, that draft class was stacked with talent, but if you were to predict back then D-Wade would win the NBA championship before James or Melo, people would have laughed at least. He perfectly fit into Miami Heat's culture and started producing from year one, finishing 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting behind you-know-who. In 2004, the famous Lakers departure happened, and Shaq coming to South Beach changed everything. The Flash was born, and although Wade didn't like the nickname at first, he embraced it as he and Shaq developed chemistry. It was the first time in his career O'Neal was comfortable with taking the backseat for anyone, leading to them winning the first ever championship in Miami's history, and the first Finals MVP for D-Wade as well. After Shaq slowly drifted away from his prime, some years would pass before the Heat would raise another banner.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
For 4 years, this duo was unstoppable. First, that 18-3 run against the Bulls in 2011 was sick, and second, destroying Boston's hope for one more title run with the Big Three was nothing short of iconic. People called them Batman and Robin, and D-Wade didn't mind doing what Shaq did for him at the beginning of his career. If you have a Robin that's averaging 25.5 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, and finishes in the top 10 for MVP votes, you know your Batman has plenty of talent to rely on even on his off nights. LeBron did win 2 Finals MVPs in that era, but man, D-Wade was also playing out of his mind. With a career like that, he has nothing to be regretful about. The man was a 3 times NBA champion, a Finals MVP, 13 times an All-Star, NBA scoring champion, 11 All-NBA team selections, and a number 3 jersey retired by the Heat. What else is there to wish for? This type of resume takes any doubt out of the question whether D-Wade deserves his own statue, but what's really mind-boggling is how they messed it up so bad when it comes to the aesthetics. The NBA statue is supposed to mean means something, and we doubt Pat Riley was cheap about the cost of it, so it must have been something else to cause this bad of a result. These were made almost to an utter perfection. The first player to be honored with a statue of himself was none other than Michael Jordan. In 1994, the world was sad to see him retire, and the Bulls came to the idea of immortalizing his legacy by making a statue of one of his signature dunks and displaying it for the world to see. This became a thing, and soon enough, more players received their statue replicas in front of their arenas. In 2001, George Mikan was honored by the city of Minneapolis, whose team was called the Lakers before they went to LA and the local team became the Timberwolves. In 2004, Magic Johnson was the next one to receive his own statue, but instead of dunking or shooting, he's dribbling with one hand while pointing with the other. That was the franchise's intention of showing his playmaking ability, as he was truly one of the best floor generals to ever play the game. Almost an entire decade would pass before we saw another Hall of Famer getting his legacy honored in bronze. Jerry West's drive into the lane was beautifully immortalized in front of the Staples Center, now Crypto Arena, and in 2015, Shaq got to hang on the rim forever, reminding everyone coming to the Lakers games what type of beast he was. The Lakers are actually the franchise with most players earning a statue, with 5 of them. Kareem got his in 2024, and unfortunately, Kobe did too. We say unfortunately because if he were alive, the ceremony would have probably been delayed for years, if not decades. His Mamba Out statue reminds us of one of the best farewell games in the NBA, and there's also another one celebrating him not just as a legendary player, but a father as well. The statue of him and his daughter Gianna in front of the Crypto Arena can make a grown man cry, reminding us these statues are not just a celebration of greatness, but our way to tell thousands of stories through immortalizing a single moment. Unfortunately, not every artist lives up to this task. D-Wade's statue isn't the only one that's left people shaking their heads, but many more athletes have been victims of the sculptor's hands. Maybe the most famous one belongs to Cristiano Ronaldo. Back in 2017, everyone was shocked after the reveal of what was supposed to be a statue of the Portugal's football star. The memes started flooding the internet, and soon enough, the statue would get replaced with a better version. Still, it remains one of the worst sculpting pieces to this day, at least when it comes to professional athletes. Considering how much effort Ronaldo puts into his physique and aesthetics, God only knows how angry he must have been upon seeing that monstrosity. Another huge name in sports with an awful statue of himself is Andy Murray. If he never posed next to it, you probably would have never guessed it was supposed to look like the former #1 ATP player. He looks like a squire from Game of Thrones holding a tennis racket, which was probably not the original intention of the artist. However, these things happen, and it's not like we don't know how to make a good laugh when they do. Despite not always working out perfectly, getting a statue is a huge honor, and it means to stand for everything the player has accomplished. Unfortunately for some, the chances of getting it are very slim. Take KD for example.
I highly doubt I'll get a statue of me put anywhere for playing basketball. I appreciate the love though and the respect that people show me. That's enough for me.
I see what you're doing. You don't want a Dwyane Wade looking statue. I wouldn't.
No, I just don't really think. No, see, Dwyane Wade is a different case, man. He is Miami. He is the Heat, you know. So, like, it's a different case with him. You know, there's very few players that get that type of love in a city like that. So, it's usually those guys who got the Hall of Fame career with the championships and you've been with one city for a long time. That's not the case for me, but I can see it for a couple other guys in the league.
You got the 2 first down, of course. You know, Dwyane Wade said you're next. Did you hear that?
I seen that. I seen that yesterday. I disagree with D Wade, but I appreciate him put me in that category with 2 other guys who probably will get statues in cities that they played in.
Regardless of what you think of KD, his statement is spot on. The statue is not just about the numbers, stats, records, or even championships, but loyalty as well. It's about what that player meant to the city he played in and how he became a part of its history. If KD stayed with OKC, there's no doubt he'd get one even if they never won the title. But after leaving the way he did, there's almost zero chance for that happening, especially now that the Thunder have a new group ready to contend. Out of the guys who are currently in the league, LeBron comes to mind when you talk about someone guaranteed a spot in front of the arena.
I don't know why the man above gives me the hardest role, but it's nothing the man above don't put you in situations that you can't handle. And I just kept that same positive attitude, like instead of saying why me, they're saying this is what he want me to do. And Cleveland, this is for you. Oh!
The Joker is also almost a no-brainer, and probably many of today's young guys will earn their place among the immortals. All that's left for us is to laugh some more at D-Wade's statue and hope that no other player will ever have to experience the same thing again. That's it for today, dear friends. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Let us know in the comments what you think of D-Wade's statue and which player has the best one. If you have any suggestions for our next videos, don't hesitate to share them down below as well. Thank you for watching and growing this channel. Make sure you don't miss out on more NBA stories by hitting that subscribe button. See ya in the next one.